Welcome back to Scandinavian Cookbook. I'm Sylvia, and today I'm making Swedish Kladdkaka, or sticky chocolate cake. And this time I've added a dark chocolate ganache to the top. Actually, it's dark chocolate and a little bit of coffee as well. Very grown-up cake today. It's my friend's mom's birthday tomorrow, so I offered to bake a cake because, you know me, I'll take any excuse to bake something. Really? If anyone needs something baked, I'm here in Bergen. And my friend said that she likes chocolate, so I made the best chocolate cake I know. In fact, this might be the one cake that I've made the most times ever. I make kladdkaka more than I would like to admit, partially because the ingredients are really basic. I almost always have ingredients for a kladdkaka in my pantries, which just means that I'm always tempted to make one. If I am craving a sweet treat, I'm gonna whip one of these up. I'll also reduce the portions. I'll make a really tiny one sometimes instead of a full big one, though I often make the full cake too. That's the truth. It's really easy to make. It's kind of like the Scandinavian version of brownies, but I think it's even better than brownies. Is that controversial? It's probably controversial, but I stand by it. I am linking the recipe in the description box below, and while you're there, click subscribe for more Scandinavian recipes. Start by melting the butter and then let it cool a bit before adding in the sugar and the eggs. So I usually microwave the butter and then I fetch all the ingredients for this cake just so it has some time to cool. If you want a less sweet cake, you actually can reduce the sugar. I've done that before. It's not a super sweet cake, but it can definitely take a bit less sugar if you prefer. Now we're going to pour the cake batter into a spring form, and I always line the bottom of the form with baking paper because the cake can get quite sticky, so it's easiest to just peel off the paper than try to remove it from the form. And I also butter the edges of the form, just to be sure. You'll notice it's quite a thick batter, like brownie batter. Oh, actually it's such a challenge for me not to eat too much of the batter when I'm making this cake. It's so good. And just try to spread it as evenly as possible. It will even out a little bit in the oven as well. And now we're going to bake this at 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 Celsius for about 25 minutes. If you want a very sticky kladdkaka, you can bake it for even less. I've also baked this at 20 minutes and then you get like that really gooey, almost raw inside. And you'll know it's done when the top and the sides are firm and crispy, but there's still a little jiggle to the cake. It's not fully baked through, and that's what's going to give it that nice stickiness. And as soon as you put the cake in the oven, get started on the chocolate cream for the top of the cake. If you want to use it, the cake is also delicious on its own, but adding the chocolate ganache just adds a little bit more. So you're going to bring the cream to a simmer in a saucepan. So as soon as the edges of the cream begin to bubble, you're going to remove it from the heat. And then I've taken dark chocolate and chopped it up into small pieces. Okay, now we're just going to pour the hot cream on top of the chocolate and then just let it sit for a couple of minutes before stirring. Now it's been 3 minutes, so I'm ready to stir the chocolate. I'm just going to add a tablespoon of strong coffee. You could use espresso as well if you want. And if you don't like coffee, you can skip this step. And now we're just gonna stir the cream until it's nice and smooth. And now I'm gonna let this cool. I leave it at room temperature as it cools, just because then it cools more evenly. And it's gonna take a while, so I'm gonna get the cake out of the oven and also let that completely cool before adding the ganache. Some people like to pour the ganache straight in the cake form, so it's just at the top layer. I wait and I spread the ganache, so you can do whichever you prefer. The cake is fully cooled, so I've put it on a plate and now I'm going to add the chocolate ganache. Of course, you don't need to if you don't want to. It tastes delicious like this. You can add powdered sugar on top or serve it with whipped cream or ice cream, however you like. So the chocolate cream has also cooled, and right at the end I did pop it in the fridge just for 10 minutes so it would fully cool because I got impatient. I like to just pile it all on the cake and then spread it out, because I'm definitely going to use all of it. And you can bring the ganache down along the sides as well if you like. I think I'm going to just leave it like this. I like that it looks a little bit rustic.